So Dungey's coming on, but the big story for me, and a complete contrast to Honda's, Antonio Cairoli and KTM. KTM are looking for the exposure again to riders to run up front, and they actually had that with Cairoli, even though he only had the 3 weeks on the bike. Then he had to adjust to the new frame. So they didn't really give him a chance to prepare. Then after round 3, he said he wasn't likely he was going to be able to do all the 12 rounds because he was looking paid to do it. And yet at that point, he was top KTM. He had obviously a complete disaster at High Point. A pretty much decent start in the first one, but then those first few laps, he lost a couple of places. Was clearly getting frustrated because he knew he had the speed, which has been coming back. Plowed into the side of Christian Craig, but he went down instead of Christian. Knee injury, outside gate pick. I don't know why they quite do that in America based on your first motor result. Pushed off the track there again and then pulled out when he was up to 13th because of the knee. So yes, championship-wise, it's sort of for top 5. It's probably not looking good for Cairoli now, even if he did do the full series. But to me, it's still baffling that he wasn't given the opportunity to ride the full series and that he wasn't given more opportunity to prepare, because if you look at his speed, you think he qualified 5th at High Point and he was 4th fastest in the second session on a track he'd never been to before. The speed's starting to come back. The first 5 minutes still weren't great, but I think if you give Cairoli time to prepare, he could have maybe added himself to that sort of top 4 and became a top 5 with a, yes, he might not won the title in his first year and sort of coming 37, but I think podiums and getting KTM up there regular could have been done. But for whatever reason, KTM didn't really give him the best chance of showing his full potential. And that's a bit baffling to me, especially whenever he's going to be riding Red Bull at the donations. At the minute, it looks like he might not even be going there for the National.
Yeah, I mean, it is a strange one. I mean, he's definitely not going there for the National unless something drastic happens here within the
fingers crossed
next couple of days, really.
Contract negotiations, as we say.
It's a strange one that they just wouldn't pay him a little bit of money. You know, he's obviously getting prize money, but that probably pays just to get to the next race. And obviously, he doesn't live in America, so he's got accommodation and stuff like that. I'm not sure if they were putting him up. If they were paying, I
think it's more a sort of respect thing for
that is, but I mean,
what he's done.
Obviously, but I mean, at the end of the day, to do those 4 rounds, he might have been using some of his own money, which isn't really right either. But yeah, I mean, the fans were loving it. A 9 times world champion, absolutely loving it, getting them loads of exposure, even if the results weren't that good, which they were all right. So
he was getting whole shots, he was getting interviews, fans were seeing him. Thor gear, aero helmets, KTM at the front off the gate, which we haven't seen in a while outdoors. He was doing everything right under very difficult circumstances for him with a different bike, new frame, no preparation, no fitness. And he was still on that speed of the top 4 pretty much, especially Colorado. On raw speed and High Point, it looked like he had it. So it was just completely baffling that somehow they were just saying no, while giving Ryan Dungey a 12 race contract that who Cairoli at that point after Colorado was actually looked like he'd taken a step ahead of. Strange.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they'll probably say budgets are in place, a year before or whatever, but I'd be very, very, very surprised if Dungey came back just to ride to get prize money. I'd be amazed at that. But maybe, you never know, maybe that is the case, but I would highly doubt that. So, and yeah, Cairoli, I'm sure, would have stood on the podium maybe once or twice, maybe even 3 times.
He was getting stronger and better
and getting more bike time in. So, yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting. We probably will see him go back, maybe finish the season there. You would think he'll probably do that. I think that was always the plan anyway, but just not to do the full 12 rounds. So, yeah, we'll probably see him back racing there, but just a shame that KTM wouldn't have paid him a little bit of money, and it could have done all 12, but that's just the way it is. Maybe we'll see him do a sneaky GP instead. Who knows?
Yeah, because it made the racing in America has been great this year, but it made that extra bit of excitement because Cairoli was getting that wee bit better each time. So each time he got a hole shot, you were thinking, how long can he hold the pace of this top 3 or 4 this time? And it was sort of incremental improvements. And you had the sort of Cairoli-Dungey battle with Dungey improving as well at times. And that's sort of gone a wee bit for the next few rounds. Just to say as well, Josh, Gilbert said he's going to do the last 4. I think he was looking at doing Redbud. He won the MX National yesterday after Tommy Searle, for some reason, went straight on with 2 laps to go while leading and looking certain to go 1-1. But Josh Gilbert won't be doing Redbud, but is hoping to do the last 4 in National. So I wonder if Cairoli will end up doing something similar.
Yeah, I was thinking that when Gilbert said that, actually. I wonder if Cairoli will do the same. But one thing I would say is as well, Cairoli knows how to set a bike up, and they're obviously struggling.
He was testing for them too. So
exactly.
I don't get it.
Exactly. I mean, if there's one guy you want setting a bike up, Cairoli would be high up the list, you would think. Yeah, and he knows what he's doing around the bike, so even paying him to do that, and then the Nationals on the side would make a lot of sense. But obviously he's back in Italy now, so until he goes back out to race there, he won't be able to help America doing their tests. He'll probably be back helping the Cardi team in the meantime.
And all his best tracks are probably coming up now. Redbud, Millville's a bit sandy as well.
Well, Southwick's coming up.
And Southwick's coming up. Those are the tracks you'd really want to see him at now that he's starting to get his race legs under him again and the race fitness. So I think even the American media can't get their heads around it either.